Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Right now at 5, 2 more men behind bars in connection with what police are calling a gang shooting in a quiet southwest Bakersfield neighborhood last month. The total number of people now arrested in the case.
Tragedy turned criminal investigation, the new twist in the probe into the deadly Conception boat fire. The thing federal investigators now say they're looking to figure out.
It's called Say Something, a new app urging students, parents, and staff to speak up to prevent tragedy. We'll show you how it works and tell you which school district is rolling it out. This is Tuesday, September 10th, 2019. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Vanessa Dillon in for Alex this morning, enjoying this beautiful weather.
I know, it's so beautiful. I stepped out early, obviously, and it was just, it feels like fall almost.
I love it.
It's exciting.
Let's check in with Kevin, though, because we understand it's not going to last too long.
Well, as we get into the weekend, that's when we're going to see that warm up again. But you're going to get another day with some very nice temperatures, 87 degrees right now. Yesterday, I wish it was 87. Well, I don't wish. Let's just start this all over, right? 87 degrees was our high yesterday. It's still early. 108 the record on that date, 1904. Today we're going to be in the 80s. That's what I was trying to tell you. 63 degrees on the temperature right now. We have a northwest wind at 6. Let's take a look at the hour by hour forecast. Starting out in the mid 60s, 76 by noon, and by 3 o'clock sunny skies and 81 degrees. Up in the mountains, 52 degrees right now. A west wind at 9. I do expect the winds to pick up a little bit throughout the day here, starting out in the 50s, but then lower 70s expected this afternoon. By 3 o'clock, that westerly wind at 16. We talk about a warm-up. When will it happen? I've got the details on that coming your way in just a few minutes. Maddie, back over to you with a check of traffic.
All right, thanks so much, Kev. Taking a look outside at Highway 99 near White Lane. Things are moving smoothly out there, and just check the CHP traffic page. No major incidents to talk about this morning. Just all of that construction to look out for as you head up on this Tuesday morning. Look out for that and give yourself some extra time. We'll have another check in 15 minutes.
New information this morning about a shooting in a southwest Bakersfield neighborhood. Police have arrested 2 more people in connection with the shooting last month. Officers arrested Antoine Jin Sunday and Javern Weldon on August 31st. The shooting happened on August 17th on Remington Avenue in the Quailwood neighborhood. Police say a car drove by the house where a party was happening and people inside opened fire. Several people at the party fired back. Police found 60 spent casings from the shooting, but no one was hurt. Police have now arrested 11 people in connection with the shooting.
A criminal investigation is now underway into a fiery boat crash that killed 34 people. Federal investigators made the announcement yesterday. The move comes a day after search warrants were served at the Truth Aquatics offices. Investigators say they're looking for evidence to see whether any federal laws were broken. They're also trying to figure out how the fire aboard the Conception started. Last week, the owners of the Conception filed a lawsuit to head off potentially costly litigation. A man's behind bars accused of attempted murder for trying to hit a man in the head with a tree branch. Bakersfield police say it happened yesterday morning on East California Avenue, just a few blocks off Union Avenue. Officers found a man who'd been hit in the head with a tree branch. He's in the hospital in critical condition. Officers arrested 35-year-old Jesus Reyes in connection with the attack. He's being held on $500,000 bail and is due in court tomorrow.
It's a time where children are faced with a number of traumas and burdens. That's why the Delano Unified School District is taking steps toward looking for warning signs that could lead to tragedies like child suicide or attempting to harm others. It all starts with a student speaking up, saying something, and a quick and easy download of a phone app.
Students, really all students all over the country, are experiencing significant trauma in their lives.
It's a time where parents should be on high alert. As generations shift, kids are faced with personal struggles that could often lead to tragedies.
You hear a report of a shooting or a threat against a school, there's always precursor signs. These things almost never come just right out of the blue. There were things going on that, people were aware of, but maybe didn't choose to report it.
It's a harsh reality, but a fact both parents and educators have learned to accept. In a world where events like the Sandy Hook and Parkland shootings broke the country, The Delano Union School District is adopting a technological system that aims to catch warning signs before it's too late.
It's an anonymous reporting system that students can use to contact the school about issues that are of concern to them.
Issues can range from concerns of suicide to fears of more prominent dangers.
Schools are about taking care of kids. That's what we do. And the kids know things and are experiencing things that the school may not be aware of. And they may be reluctant to come forward.
The Say Something app is an initiative founded by the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation, a nonprofit inspired by the tragic elementary school shootings in 2012. And the goal is to make it as safe and easy as possible for students to report their concerns anonymously.
When a shooting occurs, people look back and there were all these precursor signs that either people didn't pick up on or they didn't connect the dots, or people didn't come forward with information that they had. An anonymous reporting system gives people the opportunity to just report something that's troubling to them, even if they're not sure what it means.
The app is easy to use, and students across the Delano Union School District have already been trained and encouraged to use it. And in this digital time and age, the system can make all the difference in a student's life.
Kids are so technologically savvy these days. The idea of downloading an app and making an anonymous report, that's second nature for them.
The school district adopted the Say Something system back in April of 2019. You can find more information on the app by visiting the Sandy Hook Promise Foundation website, saysomething.net.
The Bakersfield Police Department may move one step closer this week to getting hundreds of body cameras for its officers. The department tested the cameras for a year in a pilot program that ended in June. Now a city report recommends the approval of a full rollout using Axon body cameras. The process will be done in phases starting in October with 210 cameras given out over 3 months. Those who would get the first cameras include school resource officers, the K-9 unit, and the Special Enforcement Unit. During Phase 2, another 200 officers will get cameras, and close to 100 will be deployed for Phase 3. The process is set to cost close to $3 million over 5 years.
Los Angeles Department of Water and Power is considering a giant solar project in Kern County that could mean the lowest price ever for solar power in the country. The LA Times reports the so-called E-Land contract with developer 8 Minute Solar Energy would be built in the Mojave Desert. But the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 18, which represents utility employees, has some concerns about gas plants on the coast being closed and who would be hired to build the E-Land project. The company says it plans to sign a labor agreement with IBU Local 428 in Kern County. Construction has to start by December to qualify for a federal tax credit. The LADWP board will consider sending the contract on to the LA City Council today.
County supervisors are taking a step today to continue working to tackle the homelessness crisis. They're set to vote on a proposed site for a new low-barrier shelter. It would sit just north of Golden State Avenue and O Street. The shelter would accommodate between 100 to 200 people, allow partners to stay together, and allow people to keep pets and their possessions. If approved, it could be up and running by the end of the year. The Bakersfield City Council is also trying to figure out how to address the growing homelessness crisis. The city is considering taking some big steps to mitigate homelessness. Among them, hiring private security to patrol parts of the city with the highest property crimes and hire a team to clean up human waste downtown. City leaders say they're set to discuss this at tomorrow's council meeting.
And county supervisors are also considering granting a conditional use permit to build an affordable housing complex for homeless veterans in Oildale. The California Veterans Assistance Foundation wants to build a permanent housing community for veterans. It would consist of 12 units, 11 homes, and a common area with laundry facilities. The organization is working to raise $300,000 to build the complex on Covey Avenue. County staff is recommending approval of that project.
Still ahead this morning on Sunrise, several massive wildfires raging on this morning across the state. We'll have updates on containment and how local crews are helping on the front lines.
And plus, is the vaccination debate over? 2 bills aiming to crack down on vaccination exemptions are now in law of the land. What opponents are saying this morning.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
What do you think of when you hear the word Bakersfield? Well, some of us who call it home think it's a great city. Not everyone has the same opinion. So the city wants to change that and is rebranding our hometown. 17's Karen Hua has the details.
This rebranding campaign has been a 2-year effort between the city, the county, the Greater Bakersfield Chamber of Commerce, and 15 private organizations. Its mission, to shed negative connotations of Bakersfield and Kern County.
I want to tell you about the real California.
Our home has a new slogan.
It is time to write a new narrative.
We are Kern County, grounded and boundless. We are Bakersfield, the sound of something better.
And when we say the sound of something better, that can be the sound of something better in solving homelessness, in the complex issues that we are facing.
But Mayor Karen Go says this rebranding campaign is not only about a logo or slogan.
This is about an attitude that we have of new opportunities, of new optimism.
An attitude that embraces how our county is #1 in renewable energy, agriculture, oil, and much more.
Who harvest California's given ground.
We struggle with our own self-identity here. The own negative feelings, we're the armpit of California.
Even among ourselves, it's the chance to feel a sense of pride in where we live.
We can choose to be cynics or we can choose to be positive.
We may seem old-fashioned, but in reality, we've always been pioneers.
The county and city say they contributed about $40,000 each to the $200,000 campaign over 2 years. The rest, they say, was funded by private companies. $100,000 of Measure N funds were dedicated to rebranding Bakersfield as a whole this year. The campaign ultimately aims for the money to pay off in the long run.
Externally, it's important because the more business that we can bring to Bakersfield and Kern County, the stronger our economy becomes, the more jobs we have for our people.
The county says it will take about 18 months to implement the new logos on vehicles, across social media, and on official letterhead. I'm Karen Hua, 17 News.
5:21 is your time. Some might say it's long overdue, but the man known affectionately as Mr. Bakersfield is finally getting his star at the Fox Theater. The Fox says it will unveil a star in honor of David Marcus this weekend. Marcus died in June at age 60 after battling cancer for the 7th time. He was a fixture at high school sporting events and was Centennial High's superfan. The star will be unveiled at 10:30 Saturday morning. After, there will be a special free screening of the film God's Not Dead. The Fox says any donations received that day will go toward the David Marcus Scholarship Fund.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. It's a big day in the tech world. Apple is expected to unveil several new products at its annual event today. The tech giant is expected to reveal its latest upgrade to its iPhone line. Tech experts are also predicting Apple may also reveal an updated Apple Watch and some new TV-related services. For the first time, Apple will stream the unveiling on YouTube. In the past, the company has only streamed the launch on its own website. The event kicks off in just about 4.5 hours at the Apple headquarters in Cupertino. Target lovers will love this. The retailer is launching a loyalty program. Target Circle is set to roll out nationwide October 16th. It'll offer new perks like birthday rewards and personalized coupons. Target started testing the program in February, and it's been successful. Target says customers enrolled in the program are spending more than those who are not. The program is free, and it doesn't require customers to have a Target credit card. Google is under fire. Yesterday, attorney generals from across the country announced the tech giant is under investigation. Regulators and lawmakers have grown more concerned with the company's search engine and its shares of the internet advertising market. NBC's Dan Shinneman reports.
Google, the tech giant, now at Target.
There's nothing wrong with being the dominant player if it's done fairly.
A bipartisan group of attorneys general from 50 states and territories announcing a probe into what they call the company's potential monopolistic behavior.
We're focusing on the digital advertising space, right? Because there's basically a virtual commodity exchange that Google is controlling from start to finish.
Critics of the company say its search engine may limit consumer choice.
And this is a company that dominates all aspects of advertising on the internet and searching on the internet.
Google has not commented on the investigation, but the company has generally maintained that its businesses, while huge, are useful and beneficial to consumers.
There's a fine line sometimes between aggressive business practices and illegal ones. Our investigation will determine whether Google has crossed that line.
It's an investigation that could determine the future of a high-tech Goliath. Dan Scheneman, NBC News.
And Google is not the first tech company to face scrutiny. Last week, another group of states announced a probe into Facebook's market dominance.